All right. Hello, everyone. Flav, we're bloody
So
live.
weird.
We're live with the slugs. Slugs everywhere. Let's go.
All right.
Hello, mate. Hello, everyone. This is weird because it feels like we're actually talking to people this time instead of, just
Why?
the internet.
Why? If someone's listening, what does that mean, James? What does all this mean?
How does it mean? That's the kind of question you normally answer, not me. That's normally a question I put to you. Last week you were talking about existential crises in football and how it never ends. Which
Can you not mention that word again?
existential crisis? Yeah, well, I mean, it's
No.
probably good for both of us, isn't it?
Don't mention the word football again. I'm not
Well, there's a lot of top four confusions. Great title, James. Well done, mate. Your stats, that'll drag them in. What is top four confusion? Click. Idiots. Idiots, the lot of you. Apart from our moist slugs and our dry slugs. That's a comment actually that came in recently. Someone was saying that if they're a patron, then they're a moist slug. But if they're not, they're a slug. They're a dry slug.
Yeah, this is what the people who listen to this podcast and are fans of it call themselves, slugs.
Indeed.
So in order to give them what they want, we've designed a T-shirt, a couple of T-shirts actually, and they'll be available to Patreons if they want them at cost. So we're not making any money out of them. We're just making lovely self-deprecating T-shirts.
You're right, mate. You're right.
No, what do you mean? Am I right? Did you watch the football last night?
I didn't. It was Fam's birthday.
Yeah, well, don't ask me stupid questions, James.
3 cheers for Fam. Right. Hip hip, hooray!
Hooray!
Hip hip, hooray! Hit the like button for Fam's birthday because I know she gets very upset if the like button isn't hit. So please hit that like button. It was. So what happened with that from my point of view, Flav?
I don't care. I don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, because I watched the first 5 minutes, and you had a goal disallowed, and
yeah.
I then Fam comes. You know when like, got the football on. How long can I have the football on? And then Fam's like, I'm just gonna like have a shower or do her hair or whatever. And then I hear her coming downstairs. And I'm like, that's the football. That's the football over. But it's her birthday, so it's absolutely fine because she's a wonderful woman, a 10, and I'm punching. But I watched the first 3 minutes, and you'd scored. Then it was disallowed. And I walked away from that, and I thought, there is no way Spurs aren't winning this one. And then I've looked at the goals, I've looked at everything since, and it's like, apparently Spurs were crap.
Yep. Yeah, we were. It was terrible.
You're not going to give me anything.
What do you want? What do you want?
I want to know what's going on.
I want to talk about anything else other than football.
Okay, I'll tell you what we can talk about. First of all, guys, thank you for joining us. And as Flav said, patrons, we're getting a bit of the Slug Life shirts will be there for you soon. But what I would say is thank you to patrons who don't get angry about the fact that we've had to do this live on the YouTube channel this week. Because lots of stuff going on, including we've got to do a technical rehearsal for Deadline Day Live, which is happening on the Ball Street channel on Monday evening. There probably won't be any transfers, but all the Ball Street lads will be back on the channel. Me and Flav will be on it for 4 hours, I think. So, I mean, almost 11. Just for like, talk about top four confusion. Transfer Deadline Day confusion. Guaranteed for that one. So join us for that one. And last bit of admin from me, the All Court Ultras are in the playoffs, and I'm going to be streaming on Twitch from 4 p.m. So if you want a bit of passion later on, it's there.
Is your football manager?
Football manager. A lot of people in the chat right now are actually players in the game this year. So hopefully they can get us over the line. Flav is our captain. Flav is our central midfielder. Loz McKenna plays centre back for us. Has been fantastic all year. So yeah, if you want to get involved with the playoffs and we can get into the Premier League for the first time, come and join us. Let's get into the important action now, Flav, which is the fact that me and you have the Premier League on strings. Sheffield United, Mangled United, which used to be a word, is now not a word. We said there was a passing of the torch. Mr. Bill Banana, Sheffield beating Man United just emphasises the Jaffin managerial support changing hands from Ole to Chris Wilder. Truly poetic.
It is mad. It's mad. Crazy.
Tom Trott.
So people
Sheffield,
don't know.
Sheffield just beat Man United. You guys really are magic. Subscribe.
I know. The thing is like...
Explain what's going on. Explain what's going on.
Right.
We've got the Premier League on strings.
Well, first of all, we were sick of Liverpool being top of the league, and we needed to figure out how to change things, right? We needed ways for, so that Liverpool don't just run away with it. So we started to think about Liverpool cracks. The irony, obviously, that they just beat my team, Tottenham, last night, rather handedly. But, Liverpool, we started talking about Liverpool cracks. What was wrong with them, how they were, potentially they're on the brink of disaster when they were flying high at the top of the league. What happens? Liverpool start to fall apart. They get beat by Villa, smashed by Villa.
Coincidence? I think so.
Starting drawing games that they wouldn't have drawn last week. And then we thought, we got bored of Liverpool because they were done, right?
Yeah. Next.
So we thought, actually, we're sick and tired of people having a go at Ollie. On this podcast, we're going to back Ollie all the way. We will never criticise him, and we'll only speak in positives in terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United. They are now, or they were, top of the league.
They were. Important word there, Flav. Were top of the league.
And then while they were top of the league, we were like, okay, we've done Man United. Let's do someone else. So we went to Sheffield United.
Come on, the boys. Come on,
Sheffield United. At the time when we decided to start backing Sheffield United, they hadn't won a game this season. Since us backing them, they've won 2 in 3, which includes the away result at Old Trafford. The only game they didn't win was against my team, Tottenham, that was because my heart wasn't in it. Yeah. My heart went in that one.
Exactly. So we have the Premier League on strings. A couple of comments from the chat there. Fergal says, "This is getting silly now." This is getting out of hand. It's kicking off. So
we've got to start putting some bets on, Jim.
I know.
I'm not mucking about.
I think you lose it once you put a bet on it. I'd imagine. No, AK the producer. We'll be talking about you later. AK the producer. It's getting scary. He says. And Tom Cribb, he said, "Boys, I cannot thank you enough for the blessing you've given to me and my club, Sheffield United, and I can only best express my gratitude through the form of a poem."
Okay.
Here it comes.
Good. I'm looking forward to this.
I started uni lonely, in need of a hug. But that's when I became a little slug. I've come to love all the weird bits, even the chanting of wolf tits. Manager's gaffes, advice of flames, even a couple of... Fan favourite bit, clubs on the periodical. I think he struggled on this one. On the periodical. To the legendary White Teeth Chronicle. Find another word. Yeah, it did well there. And finally, the beautiful conversation in the chat. And, of course, birds and that sandwich. Thank you, Tom Cribb, for that. Great work. Superb.
Like, imagine if you're coming here expecting a football podcast and all of what he just said makes complete sense to me and Jim and most people here. If they're here to about top 4 confusion or whatever it is you titled it,
yeah,
and then they've just read that makes absolutely no sense. Clubs on the periodical.
Do you know what's important is is everyone in the chat right now just spamming the chat right now.
White Teeth Chronicle. It doesn't mean anything to anybody.
No, but the point is, this is glorious. This podcast is glorious.
I know.
So in the chat right now, if you get it, just write, I get it. If you got it, then you got it. But if you didn't, then maybe it's worth sticking out. If you're that guy who's gone, I am just so confused with the top 4 right now. What am I going to do with myself? And then you've seen this thumbnail going, oh, here's the saviour. I mean, stick around. We'll have a chat about it. But stick around. Look, there you go. Oh, my word.
Everybody gets it.
Everybody gets it. That's it. Lovely. Right. Speaking
of... we got it. That's an in-joke within the in-joke.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, we get it. So in this podcast, we're going to be looking at what you've won. Because with respect, what have you won? We're going to be talking about quotes from the pod. We will have a look at the Premier League and the top 4 because I do think it's an interesting talking point because it is just all a bit crazy. It continues to be. We've got some high quality rumours and we have so we don't have a badge from last week to uncover, but someone has made a Jaffin FC badge, which we will look at. But the big stumbling block is the fact that we were looking at what should be our Latin slogan. Slogan.
Okay.
Slogan. So we will be having a look at some of the options for
That's good.
The slogan of the Jaffin podcast.
So we're on a podcast and we're getting a Latin slogan because some football team used to. I love it.
Oh, and we've got some petty acts, some really, really petty acts as well. So lots to get into. Let's dive into the quotes of the pod, which I'm a bit nervous about next week. Obviously, we've got a live chat going on right now, so you've really got to step up if you're not watching this live, because we're going to need you in the comments to facilitate, because it could be a
Do you lose
barren
all of
landscape next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we need a fresh start. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
Quote of the pod. So if you missed last week's pod, go check it out. It might help with some of the in-jokes. Alex Lucas, quote of the pod. I would definitely go down there, monk in a cup, then never think about the kids again. Henrik Ho Jacobson, as a new subscriber, I really don't know what's going on. Stick around. Stick around. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Oh, shit. Sorry, mate.
Oh, dear. Cormac Ryan, quote of the pod. Do you know what makes me slightly harder for Højbjerg? The fact he wears number 5.
Good.
Alexander Brunton, quote of the pod. I would love to rattle through Makalele. Go back to last pod if you don't understand it. And Seb Walton, quote of the pod. Football is never-ending existential crisis. Brackets, I relate to that being a Spurs fan.
Not just any Spurs fans, everyone. Like I think Liverpool fans, before this result, were suffering from that, because you can get to the top. Oh, you can get to the top. We can all get to the top, Jim. Not you. I mean, you can't. No. But most clubs can get to the top. But you've got to come down. There's no staying at the top. Everybody goes to the top, and then they come back down. There's no staying up there, Jim. It's like when you're alive and you reach the peak of your physical attractiveness. That's the top. You're never going to look better than that moment. You don't know when that is. Right. It could be anybody. Yeah. And then it's a slow decline to sagginess.
Probably Wembley for me. I'd lost a load of weight, and I was 31. So yeah.
That's probably
at Wembley. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. And it's
right. And the rest of your life is trying to prepare yourself to understand and accept that. And that's what football is in a way. Okay. And you know, and you just got to deal with it. Like after the game last night, I was like, yeah, it's just a game of football. I can't do anything to control this. All I can do, James, is how do I let this affect me? That's all I can control. And that's it.
Yeah.
And the answer is terribly. I let it affect me terribly. I felt awful. I still feel awful. I hate it. I hate football. I'm not talking to Tottenham right now.
Yeah.
I hate Jose Mourinho. I want to punch him in the face.
That is true.
I hate Harry Kane. I hate his guts right now.
Hate his ankles, don't you?
Oh, God.
Will his ankles just piss off?
You just know. And you know what he does? The reason why I hate Harry Kane, right? I don't hate him so much. But the reason what he does, every time he gets clipped, goes down holding his ankle. And it's got to the point he does it so much, you're like, he's never injured. He's not injured. We don't have to worry about it. Goes down yesterday, barely touches his ankle. Out for 3 weeks. It's hard enough losing, but then losing your only hope, pretty much.
It stings. It stings.
It stings, Jim. It stings.
It's not all bad. Got a super chat. Efshan Ol Hassan. Can I thank Mourinho for letting us score a goal? To be honest, Spurs didn't help themselves with the defending. I got hammered for Lloris. He's crap.
He's not crap. What are you talking about?
He's poor. What's he doing?
Lloris is poor.
He is poor.
He's won a World Cup, Jim.
No, you can't keep using that. That's a veto that from now on. Veto that from now on. Anyone who says, yeah, but he's won the World Cup, I don't want to hear it. He made a blunder in that World Cup final.
All right. And what to show me a goalkeeper that doesn't make a blunder?
They're very consistent. That's what I'm saying.
Who?
Oh, look, he's a fine goalie. He's fine.
I don't care, actually. Do you know what, actually, James? I don't care what your opinion is of him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Nothing changes by you having that opinion. So you're welcome to it. Jim, you crack on.
Okay.
All of our goals that we conceded were down to our own stupid errors, stupid mistakes.
They were weak goals, weren't they? When I look back,
It's just like the Roden one was just like he actually helped it. He took the spin off the ball. This chance isn't easy enough for you. Let me take the spin off the ball for you, Marnie, because you're not good enough.
Yeah, he just needed a little helping hand. That's lovely. That's nice.
Yeah, and then Lloris and fucking Aurier are fighting. Where are you going? Where's he gone? Lloris and Aurier are fighting. Aurier's just buggered off. He left the stadium at half time. And do you know what the worst part is, Jim?
What?
Arsenal are fucking winning.
They are, mate. Well, they are. I
don't want to talk about it.
Well, I mean, the league table is very interesting.
I don't want to look at the league table.
It's like there's some sort of top four confusion going on at the moment.
I'm not looking at the league table.
Who is your top four? Who will be in the top four? You don't have to look at it.
I don't care. If it isn't Tottenham, I don't give a shit.
Can I say, you said something earlier about I'm not talking to Spurs right now. I feel like everyone's
getting below West Ham. West Ham
are fifth.
David Moyes' West Ham are fourth in the league. Fifth in the league at halfway point. That is.
Do you know what we said? I remember us chatting once. We said David Moyes is a great wife. He's a really good wife. He'll never cheat on you. And that's what he's doing there. And there is some fantastic companionship happening there between West Ham and David Moyes right now. It's lovely. It's wonderful.
What are West Ham fans saying now, though? So do they still want the board out? They still want them out, do they? Yeah. But when do they want them out?
Do you think this is just a question? Do you think West Ham are doing so well this year because the fans aren't in the stadium?
Yeah, at every level, fans are always the problem. They're always. I've said this before. The worst part of football is the fans.
The worst part.
Part.
You have said that.
Never let us back in. We're a pain in the arse. We make everything worse.
We're just getting in the way, aren't we? We're just getting in the way.
Get in the way of a good game of football.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I think Jose Mourinho's done much better with having no fans there, even though we lost. But I think we'd have. The relationship would have been very soured by the reaction to the fans of the football he's playing. Like, regardless of whether or not he's won stuff in the past, if there are fans in that stadium and we are not going forward, you will hear the boos ring out, because effectively it is, especially if people are paying, you're paying to be entertained, not to watch dog shit. Like, people at Burnley, they've bought into the dog shit. They love dog shit. They love it. They celebrate dog shit.
Do you think Burnley fans would ever get sick of dog shit?
No, because they love it. They love it. They love dog shit football.
Gobbling it up, aren't they?
And they will never ever want to go back from dog shit football, because that's what they're born. They wake up in the morning, right? And they fucking do. You know, most people do some star jumps or something like that to get ready. People from Burnley went up and do jump headers. Headers what in the mirror. Even the women who are not interested in football, they're in the.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Right.
In PE, it's just jumping headers. That's all they do.
Yeah. And do you think sometimes they go, "Why are we doing this? Football, proper football, isn't it?" Huh?
So what I'm saying is, like, some clubs won't get away with it, and at Spurs, if you're paying 80-90 quid or £2,000 for a season ticket, you're not going to want to sit there and watch shit football unless you're winning. But as soon as you're not winning, not for me, Bob.
Okay. I just what I don't want. So this is the thing I was trying to get to was so you're not talking to Spurs right now. Chelsea. I've watched Rory's channel, Nini FC, his channel, a few of these guys, and now to be fair to them, they can't. There's not much they can do. They have to kind of move forward a little bit. But if it was me, if I was a Chelsea fan after what happened to Lampard on Monday, I would be like, I just need a bit of time here. I just need to go away for like 2 weeks, and I'll come back, and then I'll have calmed down, and I can support you again. But all of them are like. And I get it, I understand it, but it's got to be horrible for them. They're going to go, well, the train's moving. Long live the king.
It's not train. It's not.
I think that every Chelsea fan should stop their channel for 2 weeks, apart from Rory because he's a mate.
Who cares if Frank Lampard's been sacked?
Chelsea fans should massive. How
Why?
can you? But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly
He's
why.
great.
I'll tell you
great.
why. I'll tell you why, mate. Because there needs to be some moral endeavour in what you're doing a lot of the time. There has to be for your own kind of soul. You have to go. We're Queen's Park Rangers. We do something. You know, there's meaning to this. There's heart to this, right? And you cut you fucking with this Chelsea shit. Like, I would just need a break. For something so clinical and ruthless and soulless. I just need a minute. Do you not get that?
I get where you're coming from. I understand completely as a QPR fan.
Joe Zillion, sorry. Football's a business. Got to accept it. No, I refuse to accept it. I refuse to accept it's a business.
In the lower leagues, you can refuse to accept it. But in the top leagues, every fan just wants to buy all the best players and give us the best chance of winning.
I get all that. But this part of your identity is part of this kind of stuff. So when it gets so lost in this moment with the Lampard thing, I think you need a minute.
What is he's not running a charity, mate? If he's not doing the job, he's got to go. But
Tuchel, right? So Tuchel then comes in and gets a draw. Okay, they dominated the ball, and I would love to see when it comes to this top four. I'd love to see Arsenal finish above. I want Arsenal, Man United to finish above Chelsea because both of them went, no, okay, you're all right. We're going to stick with you and give you an opportunity. What does it say if Chelsea smash it up this year from this point in? I don't think it's a good look.
It's just the same thing as Man City for what everything they've won. It doesn't matter what people think. I mean, if you're looking for goodness and wholesomeship in football, Jim, don't. You're going to be disappointed and upset.
I don't agree with that. I think you can still find it. I just think, look, Chelsea is
not
so
a Chelsea
different.
football club. No, definitely not there.
No, not at Chelsea football. And this is the point. This is the point that Chelsea, that must be difficult for Chelsea fans. I saw that with the comments on the video that I did on Monday when I spoke about it. They're like, what am I... You know, you don't want to support the bad guy, do you? Like, even if you have to find different ways to spin it, and that's what we do all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And this, look, here's a super chat. Scott says, Chelsea are here to win trophies. Nothing we can do to stop it anyway. Again, I get there's nothing that you can do to stop it. And like I said in that video, is it the wrong decision from a footballing perspective? Possibly not. But it's like, you'd need a minute. Surely you'd need a minute. I don't know.
I get it. I think most clubs, you get it. And there's a couple of things. Firstly, if Chelsea fans are asking if they're the baddies now, then they don't know their own football club. They've been the baddies. They are the baddies, right?
But you can't choose. If you don't want to be the baddie, what do Chelsea fans do? And I think they thought they had their moment now.
And stop supporting them. Stop watching football.
That's it. But it's part of your identity. So I just think it's a really difficult circumstance.
Yeah, all right. Look, I understand it, and I understand why they wanted Lampard, because it was the only thing different from everything they've always done under Abramovich. But you can't ask Abramovich to change after you've celebrated and lauded all of the success that he's brought you. All of it, everything that Chelsea are today is because of that man.
But if you can't ask him to change, why did they hire the Derby manager in the first place?
Because it was 2 years of redundancy where Abramovich couldn't really do what he does best, which is sign players.
So, which means that you probably need even more of an experienced manager to sort it out. Not go with the romantic route and give Lampard the job.
But what about all the other managers that have been chopped because they weren't good enough? But because they weren't a Chelsea legend, they should be given less patience? Abramovich doesn't care about Chelsea, James. He doesn't care about the feelings of the football club.
Now we 100% know that, because the final nail in the coffin is this. No, I don't think you did, because if you stick with Lampard in this situation, let him do what Ollie's done and Arteta's done, which is turn the corner a little bit, which sometimes you do just need a bit of time. Then you would have gone, look, he's stuck with him in a difficult spot, because he shouldn't have hired him. Why hire? Who's hiring the Derby manager?
It is weird, because we always did say it will go tits up.
This was the opportunity.
Even when Chelsea were top, do you remember we said Lampard? Not sure about him.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, we all know that, but like,
look, can I just say something, Jim? Because I was trying to get to this point. Is I fully appreciate, from a Chelsea fan's perspective, why sacking Frank Lampard, whether he is as good as Sarri or as good as Ancelotti, whoever it is it's irrelevant. They wanted a manager that they can connect to, they love, and that's different from everything they've had and all the successes that they've had as under Abramovich. They had something here they could hold on to, which was more important to some degree than just the next FA Cup or qualifying for the Champions League.
Exactly.
And that part for the fans is really important. It is really important. But unfortunately, when you're a fan of a club the size of Chelsea, you cannot reconcile that stuff. It doesn't work like that. You're going to have these moments you have to deal with. I admire the Chelsea fans. I admire Rory, who said, I would back Lampard if we finished 10th, 15th, because they found something else that's purer than just an absolute desire to win everything, because they've done that. They've had that bit. Now they felt like they had a club they could really connect to and belong. And it was gone because Abramovich is Abramovich, and Abramovich has reached his position by acting in this way. Always, he's ruthless. Look how he got his money.
I totally understand all of it. I get it all, and I think you obviously get my point of view as well. The question I go is the bottom line is you can't walk away from your team, however upsetting their behaviour is. But would there ever be a point where you just end up falling out of love with Chelsea, if you're a Chelsea fan, because of this constant churn, because there's no soul in it? That's a question. That's not,
No, there's it is, but there isn't any soul in it. The game is gone. It was gone. Has gone for a long time.
I'm not having that. I refuse.
You're not lower levels, man. That's where it is. That's where it exists in abundance. But in the Premier League, honestly, nothing. There isn't anything left.
So who do you think is going to be top four?
And the less it means, and the more it becomes really fundamentally about money, your importance. This is hard because during the lockdown, it's even more about that. Like, all you got is what happens on the pitch, where typically, like Spurs play, I'm with my mates, we're going down the pub, there happens to be a game of football in the middle of our day out, and then we go back to the pub, and then we drink some more, and we love being around each other, and we have a right laugh, and the football supplements the culture around it. But right now, there's nothing but what happens on the pitch. Nothing but that at all. So, people think about football, and a lot of people talk about football as just what they watch on the telly, but it's not that. It's much more than that. And that's where the real truth and love of the game lies, and the heart of the game lies, in the connections you have with each other around your football club. You can't do anything about Harry Kane's ankles. I can't fix that. No Spurs fan can. I can be frustrated by a bad thing happening to your football club, but that's where it ends. The minute with your mates in the pub, or you're around your mate's house watching it, once the game's over, win or lose, you're kind of done with it. But now you're sitting and you're dwelling on it, and you think, all right, well, I've got another 16 games to watch in the next 2 days, because all the football's on, because no one go and watch it.
All the football all the time.
There's so much. Do you not think there's too much football?
It's a lot, isn't there? There is a lot. There's no way around it, though, unfortunately. You've got to get these games. You almost need to get them out of the way.
I think, and then it doesn't even end, James. Like, if you're thinking about an existential crisis, there's a fucking Euros at the end of this. 4 weeks of that.
I'm buzzing for that. I didn't think about Super Chats, but we've got a few.
And then the season starts again, James, and then we've got another. We'll probably have Mourinho, and this cycle, the same narrative that's running around in my head for the fucking last year, is just going to carry on. He ain't going to sack him, is he? He's not going to sack him. £15 million a year. You're going to sack him, Jim? What's happening with Warburton? Is he going to get sacked?
He's fine, mate. We've got some really exciting loan signings coming in, and the boys are going to be absolutely fine in mid-table, play some great football, and bringing through the youth that we can believe in. Let me reel off these super chats, because then we can get into it all. But as you're looking at the table, just to answer, give me your top four. Have a little think about it whilst I read these out. FH, if Burnley love dog shit football, surely as a Spurs fan, you love bottle job football. Not sure that's the thing. Most consistent team throughout the years.
Okay. Who? Burnley?
No.
Yeah, consistently 16th. Oh, well, consistently bottom.
Just read them.
Let me respond to the super chat. They're paying for it. Am I getting any of that sweet cheddar?
Yeah, I'll pay.
How much do we
pay in a bit. I'll pay.
11. How many we got? How much money have they spent on it?
I'll look at it after.
We will endeavour to answer the ones that aren't super chats. Is that not the way you do this, Jim?
Well, I think we've still got to retain the quality of the pod that we have here, and I've got a lot of comments to read out, so it could be
so true. Just quickly, I'm not saying that as Burnley fans you should love dog shit football. It's just no one seems to complain about it, and it's been going on for a long time.
Well put. Scott S. No top manager would take it. It's a PR stunt after Sarri. Wow. I mean, yeah. Wow.
You've got to be mad to go to Chelsea to some degree.
It's tricky, innit? You got.
Tuchel ain't got a job. He's just been binned. He's been binned out of two jobs. PSG, you're guaranteed to win with PSG. If you don't, you're a chump. Like Emery won the treble with PSG, right? Tuchel, this isn't a fix for Chelsea. This is a risk.
All I want from his time at Chelsea is for a sort of school initiative that he will be the head of, and that is called Tuchel for School. That's all I'm after. That's all I'm after.
Love it.
Tim Shannon with a fist bump. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. That's great. I like that. I've never seen that before. Sorry. And that's it. That's your lot. Right. So give me your top four.
Oh, I was ranting again. Right.
Give us your top four.
Man City. I'd say Man City, Tottenham, Leicester, and Liverpool.
Okay, I'm going to go with Villa, Everton, West Ham, Leicester.
Wow.
Come on!
Win. I think now we see Manchester United drop away, don't we? We see them disintegrate. We're back to 14th. Ollie will be sacked by the end of the season.
Now we turned on him. But as we scroll down a little bit, keep an eye on Sheffield United, because I tell you what, if they can get any kind of point or win against Man City at the weekend, at Flav, because something is going on there massively.
We've got Sheffield United. We're playing Brighton. If Sheffield United win, that's only 7. It's 18. 7 points behind.
It's not over, lads. It is not over just yet. James All with a super chat. Too much football chat, lads. When's the fingers in mouse content coming? It's coming now. Okay, football chat is stopping. So for those of you guys new to the podcast, we will alert you when the football chat is stopping with the signal. Here it is now, guys. Oh, that's the wrong way. That's that, isn't it? Sorry.
Fucked it. You absolutely fucked it, Jim.
Absolutely screwed that.
Or like that. You could do that.
That's an inside joke that me and Flav know, and no one will ever know because it's way too niche. Right, let's read some comments. Comment of the week. At number 1.
That's pretty good method, in the bedroom, by the way.
Oh.
Could you tell how you would use that in the bedroom with your lovely lady?
So Indian head massage? Is that what it is?
No. Just like that. Just how would you use that in the bedroom if you're just doing it? Have a think. Answers in the comments below, please.
Nipples over, I guess.
Nipple. I love you to give it a guess. The answer is no.
Okay. Comment of the week. Ants84. James, the patrons should be known as the moist slugs and the freeloaders. Yeah. It could be simply dry slugs. Just an idea. # wolf tits. Thank you.
We don't, Ants. We don't. This is not something we've created. This is what you guys are doing. So, by all means, it's not up to James to decide what you call the people that are freeloaders.
Good point.
How many moist slugs have we got then? How many?
144 moist slugs at the moment.
We've got 144. So if you like this sort of content, this is source of content, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they're watching it, aren't they?
And watching it. If you like this sort of content, then you can become a patron and support us.
Indeed. Speaking of
scummy little freeloader like you are currently.
Speaking of scummy little freeloaders, Smiv messaged back again. A dry slug if ever I've seen one. So we asked him. Does he actually watch it? And importantly, Smiv, what have you won? Yeah. Very important question. He said this. Love it. Your pod, my comments, and waiting a week to exchange replies. It's like having a pen pal. Yeah. Never had one, but like the idea of it. So Flav, I was thinking from now on, this is the only way we communicate with Smith is through this comment. Well, because I think
talk to him.
Yeah. So Flav, what would you like to ask him this week?
I guess I'd like to ask him what the weather is like in wherever he lives. That's what you ask pen pals, isn't it?
Yeah. What are your hobbies, Smith?
I'm gonna ask Smith, if you're watching this. How do you use this in the bedroom to good effect? Just doing this. What would you do with that?
What would you do with that? Right. He answers the question from your last letter to him. What have I won? Your heart. I could list various Sunday League football accolades from the age of 7 through to 34, but that would be bragging. Back to pen pals, though. Thoughts? Happy to exchange addresses and give it a go. Well, yes, Smith, we will give it a go. 94 likes on that bad boy. But the winner of comment of the week, Ollie Sage. The fact that James interrupted Flav's football chat to reveal he was eating a satsuma is what I love most about the podcast.
I don't even remember that.
I had fruit. It's so boring. I can't even be.
I don't even get what you're doing with the fruit. So there are in jokes in this that only half of us get on this pod.
Yeah.
I don't even know the in joke. It's like the in joke you've got with a anyway.
I haven't got any fruit on me at the moment. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button on this live stream. It helps the channel immensely. And if somehow you're thinking of subscribing, click it. You can always change.
What? How many people are watching this?
869. There was 904 a minute ago.
You guys got nothing else to do.
Is he going for him? He's going for him. Off you go.
What if you're not got anything else to do? It's 12:30. Do some fucking work. Do you realise our economy's going to be fucked after this lockdown? And 900 of you, 800 of you would rather sit here and look at us two talk absolute nonsense.
No,
right?
I mean...
Then get on with your job. If you are students, I respectfully retract that.
It's community, innit?
Any of you should be working.
Right.
But do hit subscribe. Because it doesn't even benefit me. It's James's channel. I just come in here and sit here for once a week. And that's it. What am I doing with my life?
So it was a ban Flav. An important question that Frank Lampard will be asked in all future job interviews. What have you won? We asked you guys in the comments last week, and you've answered in your droves. Thank you very much. Alex Fowler. I won most... this is my favourite one. I'm going to go through... I'm going to save my favourite one. Robert Howes. So the important part of this is looking to impress Flav here with something that you've won that didn't really take too much effort. But there's a mix. Robert Howes. I won a Game Boy from a packet of Quavers when I was a kid.
Mate, that's fantastic. Because that's... Yeah. I would love to... We all dreamed of that, right? Didn't we? And it was always a console or game. A Game Boy would have been a big thing as well. Like, do you remember Funhouse with Pat Sharp?
Oh, do I?
And if you win it, it was always like a Sega Mega Drive or something like that. And I just thought, I'm never going to win anything. And I haven't. Never won anything. So, yeah, like, out of a packet of Quavers, you come away with a fucking... Game Boy, that's all right. I'll definitely put that on the TV.
Yeah, congratulations, Rob. Do you know what's good as well? It's not collecting tokens. You open the bag. There's something in there. You lick the salt off it. You get it out of the plastic. Have you won? Have you not won?
So true.
There you go. Harry Brown. Oh well, he did say the question he's asked is what have we won, Flav?
I haven't won a great deal. The only time I won anything, in France they have this thing called trotting, where it's like horse racing, but the horse is not allowed to run. It's fucking mental. And if they do run, they're disqualified. And anyway, so you can bet on this shit. And we bet on it, and I won £140. And I went to cash it out, and I was like, no, you got to send off for it. Send a letter to Paris and ask for the money. And I was like, life's not cut out for me.
Yeah. Harry Brown, what have I won? Well, I'll tell you. I've won countless participation medals, along with 4 FA Cup final runners-up medals. Or not FA Cup finals. You may say that isn't winning. Then why would they give us a medal? I also won a school's chess competition, showing my outstanding intellect and what happens when a year 10 enters a competition with a bunch of year 7s. As well as this, I won a used Serie A football in a raffle by grabbing a cheeky 333. I don't know what that means. And but my biggest achievement was creating a golden Jaffin moment as James and Flav correctly guessed Mansfield and Cheltenham's whereabouts, and thus creating the world's shortest bit. It's not much, but you can start to see the winning mentality seeping into my veins. Great work. JM, what have you won? You ask. Only the under 9 most improved swimmer award. Out of 15 participants from up and down the classroom, it was I who rose to the very top. In terms of improvement, of course. I brushed aside each and every other 9-year-old in the prestigious class 2D, commonly seen as the highest stage of competitive swimming by those in the know. So impressive was my improvement, I was presented with the certificate in honour of it. In case you needed more, the certificate was indeed laminated.
Wonderful. I want to see the certificate.
Can you tweet us?
I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, can you tweet us the laminated certificate?
With the certificate and you holding a spoon, because I don't believe any of that.
Yeah. Sam and that. More on Sam and that from Sam and that later. I cheated in a primary school raffle, so my mum won an iPad. I could see in the box, I could see her name. Elite level mentality and composure. Didn't suspect a thing. Well done.
Wow. I won something. I just remembered. When the guy said about swimming, I was a year 9 champion. I didn't actually win it. It was in a house. I was in a part of a team that won it, though, Jim.
Yeah. First sub.
Yeah. I was really fast at breaststroke, but I finished second, so I didn't.
Hey, Flav, am I right?
Close, though.
Am I right?
Mate.
First breaststroke. No? Is that it? Is that the right answer?
Could be.
Okay. I love this sentence. This is just great English. Pete lad, I won a charity darts tournament once. Checked out on double 16 to beat someone's mum in the final. At the end. Just a bit at the end. Someone's mum in the final. We had a lad at uni who used to big himself up a lot. And he was a Geordie. And he went... there was a player called... He was talking about how good he was at football. I think we asked him, he was like, are you any good? He went, I'm not bad. Once I beat, Nicky Davidix. Everyone's like, no. He's like, it's for a youth team at Newcastle United. I once beat Nicky Davidix 1-on-1. Just me and... No, wait. I beat Nicky Davidix 1-on-1, just me and him. And his dad in goal.
His dad in goal.
3-0. 3-0.
Can I just say, that is a fucking brilliant Newcastle accent.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I could do Peter Beardsley, but I can only do Peter Beardsley shouting.
Go on.
Players! What about players? I want to show you that tournament with Gennaro, 2016 with our mum. I can only do it shouting.
That's racist, Peter Beardsley, as he should be known.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he got a certificate for that, laminated. And everything.
Look, if you got Sir Alex Ferguson, you should work the other way, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Say what you are. I'm a sir. You should say
Sin. Sin Peter Beardsley.
Yeah, murderer Harold Shipman, rapist Jimmy Savile.
Mm. Well, in newspapers they are all called that, aren't they? That was Ricky Gervais was called a chubby funster, wasn't he?
Chubby funster. I said the chubby funster. But except if you're that Peter Stockley, I always get his name wrong. Shamed producer Peter Stockley, BBC producer. He murdered a woman. Shamed. He's a murderer.
It's like occupation changes, doesn't it? What's your job? Racist. Just say. Actually, I wasn't going to say it earlier, but now we've got racist. We've said it about 3 times. Can we get as many super chats as possible? Because I don't think this will be monetized now. It's a joke. It's a joke. And here's my favourite. What have you won? Alex Fowler. I won Most Improved Player. 3 years in a row. Under 10s to under 12. Thinking now, it's just a nice way to say your shit. Did win the league all 3 years though. Win-win. I love that. I don't think you can't win it 3 years on the trot. Most improved. How far was he off? He got it back to back to back. 3
the most improved. It's not. It's just giving someone to make sure they feel they feel involved, isn't it?
Yeah. It means you're good, but you're not as good as the best player in the team.
No.
Or the second best, because that would be manager's player of the year, probably.
And everyone's clapping, most improved player.
Yeah, he has got a bit better.
Yeah, do you remember at the start of the week?
New bit, Flav. New bit. We need an alert for that. New bit. So last week we were talking about James Maddison, and there was a few stories in there I won't repeat. But I did like this from Owain Dobson. 72 likes on this bad boy as well. James Maddison is the kind of lad to message a bird saying, "Without me," after she says she's showering.
Very good.
Which made me think Maddison is the kind of guy, or we could do that for any footballer, Flav.
Yeah, the best one was Jamie Vardy is the kind of guy that punches fruit machines in the pub.
Well, do you want to give us a footballer for next week?
But let's do Jamie Vardy. That could be funny because there's lots of...
Right, next week, Jamie Vardy. Obviously, in the chat, no point in putting it right now, so save it, jot it down, and pop it in the actual comments, and we'll do that next week. Right, it is now time for the weekend's action, and importantly, the fact that there is this week. Derby games, of course, in partnership with Ben Spanton Walker, who we love very much. Now, Flav, I want to give me a bit of a ruling on this, because Ben, of course, was straight on the tweet this week. For those of you watching for the first time, I put a tweet out each week asking if there are any Derby games this week, and you guys always oblige. It's getting next level now. What I would say, please stop thinking of a player that's played for both clubs and calling it that player's Derby. It's shit. We're past that. It's rubbish now. You're better than that. And actually, I read a few last week, and there were people that I respect as people that have commented on our content for a long time. And I was like, no, mate, come on, you're better than that. So don't do that, and don't do this team's really tiny and not as big as the other team in the city, Derby. Shut up with that as well, because you're all better than that.
They just want to see you. They just want to know that you've read their tweet. That's what they're doing.
I'll read them, but don't waste my time with that. Sorry. It's not an Andy Carroll derby if Newcastle play Liverpool. Anyway, fixtures this week. Do you think this is the only thing on YouTube where the people that run it attack the people that watch the show? We're attacking with respect, I feel.
I've just literally told people to stop watching. What are you doing with your life? That's not good. We're never going to make it.
Ollie French says, I'll read them, all right, but will I say them? Yeah. So here are the games this week. Let's have a look. Everton versus Newcastle, Crystal Palace versus Wolves, Man City versus Sheffield United. Come on the Chef Glue. West Brom versus Fulham. Draw there. We want to draw there, don't we? So Sheffield United can get back on it. Arsenal. Arsenal versus Man United. Big game. Southampton versus Aston Villa. And then on Sunday, Thomas Tuchel versus Burnley. Leicester versus Leeds. West Ham versus Liverpool. Brighton versus Spurs. And then
do you want to know the game I'll never know the score to?
Sure.
Brighton versus Tottenham.
Right, because you just need a minute, don't you?
I'm not talking to him. I'm not speaking to Tottenham right now.
So Ben Spanton Walker, I just
walked in and found them fingering some. You know what I mean? It's like walking in, finding them fingering the dog, and you're like, I need a minute to deal with that.
Yeah. Let me just figure out if that's illegal or not, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Fingering the dog. What are you doing? Stop it. Look at...
Why?
That's not right. Why
are you doing that? Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's like, look, you're literally... There's no pleasure sensations in your finger at all. Why are you fingering the dog? There's nothing there for you. That's what I'm disappointed for. You had the opportunity to at least get something from it. Some fingering a dog. Come on. Better than that.
Flav's playing up because there's a crowd. Shit like that. Right, the Derby game in partnership with Ben Spanton Walker. Now I just want to alert this to everyone's because I want to laugh at this and I want to move on. I don't want this becoming a thing because so Brighton versus Tottenham is the would our badges be at home in a tree derby? That's fine, and that's good. A couple of people don't know it, but what Declan Murphy did, which I think it's great, but I don't want to keep it. I don't want to upset Ben at any point. He did said, quick question, are you the kid that cried at the Spurs game? Ben takes it beautifully in his stride. He says, allegedly, yeah. Love it. Really great exchange. Well done, Ben. Great work. But yeah, I don't want that every week from Ben on Ben. Not every week. Okay.
What? No,
I don't know. What do you think? You think it's fine? Harv also said Brighton vs Spurs is that you'll never see our bird in a tree derby. And AK, the producer, who I believe is watching right now, who still hasn't sent a tweet with a picture of him fully smiling, holding a spoon on Twitter.
We're not sure if he is real.
Not sure if you're real, mate. So just get that sorted out, would you? But he does say Brighton vs Spurs is the animal in our badge could end up in a photo of a tree and a spoon derby. Good. Very clever work. He backs that up with the 1-2. AK, the producer, says Southampton versus Aston Villa is the we're pretty good this season derby, which sounds pretty basic, but it really is, isn't it? I bet Southampton fans and Villa fans are just going, do you know what? We're all right. We're pretty good this year. Come on, the Villa.
Unfortunately, Southampton and Aston Villa, they're also like the team that's gonna. They're the poach. We're gonna get poached derby.
We're gonna get poached derby. Yeah, you're probably right.
They're gonna lose Hasenhüttl. Grealish should be gone.
Yeah. Unless Southampton sign Danny Ings on a 5-year contract, then this will become the we've got him on a 5-year deal, so you're not having him derby.
Yeah, but that's good. But it could also mean that Danny Ings realises this is his last big contract derby, so better not sign for someone else.
Yeah, and now I'm fit. I probably want to move on and play in Champions League derby.
And Jack Grealish is I've actually played this perfectly where I'm going to be able to leave Aston Villa and the fans are still going to adore me derby.
Yeah, I think Danny's got a little bit of a way to go before he does that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Maria Williams says, when I say like that, my dog barks. So hopefully he just barked again. Smith, he's back, isn't he? He really is the best in the game. He really is very good. He really is.
How good is this one?
It's all right. It's quite in depth.
I'll be the judge.
Okay. Smith, West Ham versus Liverpool is the we're not just good for each we're just not good for each other after a recent study showed that eating a lot of processed meats, such as ham, may up your odds of a serious liver condition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good, Smith. I'm going to take you on your word that that's true.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just lie. There has to be truths in the derby game.
I love the response from Jamie here as well. He's gone, how do you come up with these?
Isn't Garth Brooks the weirdest man on earth?
I like him. Do people dislike him?
I don't think they dislike him. They just think he's a bit odd. It's like, a kid that smells a bit. No one dislikes him. Just smells a bit. Sort of smells of almonds or something. He's just got this weird almondy smell about him.
Yeah, it's not bad smell either. It's not bad smell. It's just a bit weird.
And he probably is a stand-up guy, but you just can't get past the whiff of almonds.
Just in your head, you're just constantly going, what is that?
Yeah, it's like standing next to a piece of marzipan.
Oh, that'd be lovely. I'd love to meet Garth Crooks. I love marzipan.
Yeah, what does Garth Crooks smell like? Let us know in the comments. I think marzipan.
Oh my god, what is this?
What is this?
I'm not reading that super chat, but I'm not sure if I should be reading it. Average age of COVID death is 82. Average life expectancy in the UK in 2018 is 81.62 from the Office of National Statistics. I was fearful it was a, I don't know. Thank you for the super chat.
Pay £5 for that. What are you going on? I don't understand this world anymore. I do not.
Stay with me, Flav. Stay with me.
I'm with you all the way. Listen, did you see the clip? I'm sure Skullfuggery has used this. Skullfuggery, go and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. There's a picture of a video of Claude reading out.
Yeah. That's what I'm so nervous about. I'm nervous about that.
And he goes, yeah, but it's a bit of fun. It's good. If someone gets you, that's good. That's what you want. He goes, does Ty choke on DT's Willie? And he was like, don't read that shit. I've got to read it.
It's a super chat.
Been told to read it. It's super chat.
Got to read it. It's a super chat.
Super chat. They're paying for it. Brilliant.
Leroy furloughed. Palace versus Wolves is the Predator derby as the Eagles take on the Wolves. He's backed that up with the Everton Newcastle. Is the kids' Sunday lunchtime derby as the Toffees take on the Toons.
Very good. Very good.
Joe Sharp, West Brom and Albion versus Fulham is the we're bad, but how bad derby. It's true, isn't it?
Fulham are not that bad.
Fulham are not that bad.
I think They may
need to score a goal though, don't they? Struggling to score
yeah,
goals.
but it's a shame because they're a nice little outfit. And I'm not being patronising here. They actually play nice football, and I do like Scott Parker now. I mean, I don't want him at Tottenham, but kind of like him. He's inoffensive.
Yeah,
playing decent football.
Rob Turner says Newcastle might go down. Well, I mean, it's a big derby game for them, isn't it? Reece Jenkins says Everton versus Newcastle is the let's field as many centre-backs as we possibly can derby. If they both play how they usually do, there would be 7 natural centre-backs on the pitch. 4 for Everton, 3 for Newcastle. Newcastle are... I said it a long time ago. They're struggling.
They've got to make a change, but it kind of feels like they've run out of managers now. Like, Steve Bruce... Like, if Moyes was free, that would have been their next manager. It's not. I can understand why Newcastle fans. Everyone can understand why Newcastle fans are so upset because it's just nothing. It's just a football club that merely exists to function, to do enough to get the money coming in. That's all it is, isn't it? It's like it must be fucking agony just waiting for Ashley to leave, knowing that there's likelihood is he may not never leave. He wants too much money for the club. Yeah, they're shit.
Yeah. Fantasy PGA Tour is back again. 77% of people who have tested positive for COVID don't have a single symptom. I think what he's trying to say, be careful, which is true.
No, is he paying this money to spread propaganda? Is he a COVID denier?
I don't know.
Is that what this is about?
I don't know.
I mean, that's 10 quid to get that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people you're going to convince, bud, if that is the case.
I mean, I'm willing and waiting to be convinced by you.
Okay. Esham Ul Hassan is back. Flav, have you been disappointed with Bale? Or do you think you've fallen into a trap of sentimentality by bringing him back to the club?
If you really want to know what my answer to that is, listen to the podcast I produced called Mascot about Gareth Bale. It's about loads of shit, but yeah, we talked at length about that. Most of us just like having him around. It's like, it's all right, isn't it? It's Gareth Bale sitting on the bench. It's all right. Better to have him there than on Real Madrid's bench. So, has he been a disappointment? Yes. That said, I'm starting to see little glimpses. Like against
Why
Wickham,
is he not being used? Like, why buy him if you're not going to use him?
I think he wasn't fit. He wasn't nowhere near fit. He's starting to look a little bit more like...
He's going to have to play now, isn't he?
The old Gareth Bale, you'd think so, yeah. He could play up top, maybe.
He can play.
He doesn't do a lot defensively. Doesn't track back, and if you don't do a lot defensively, then Mourinho isn't interested in you. I think it's a fitness thing. I think it's a system thing. But now that Kane is out injured, I think that he could do a job on that left hand side. You know, Son's an amazing player, right? But with his back to goal, he's not. He's average.
That's not his strength, is it? You don't want to use him for that, do you?
No, but when you're playing on that left hand side, you do have to receive the ball at feet in midfield, and you see the weakest part of his game when he does that. I don't blame him for it. No, most players aren't good in every area. You know, if you're asking, you know, tons of players, it's like asking a centre back to play up front and be as good. You know, you do what you can do. But Bale is good at that. So I don't know. It's not. We can't complain about losing one player when you've spent as much money on the bench.
It's time to use him now. Now is the time.
Yeah, that's why, you know, it's a shame that Kane got injured, but you got to deal with it. He has to deal with it. We've got to deal with it and just get on and not moan about it.
Asim Khaled, Newcastle would be in the same position in the league without any manager. I don't think that's true.
I know. I get where he's coming from.
I get what you mean. I get the point you're trying to make. But yeah, I don't even dislike Steve Bruce that much. He seems like a nice lad, but it's just really boring football. He's not been able to move forward with it. Anyway, that's hey, less of that, Flav, this far into the podcast.
What?
Football chat.
Football.
Kai stats. Man United versus Arsenal is the Roy Keane and Vieira, because we have nothing else to talk about Derby, that are guaranteed the clip of Roy Keane and Vieira having a scrap will be used in the Sky footage of it. I presume it's Sky. I think it is.
Yeah, they Sky. You can imagine just the execs at Sky, football execs, just nursing it. Just God, do you remember when the Premier League was like that? Oh, God, do you remember Man United, that rivalry of Man United? Do you remember how much we milked that dry? Whoa.
Can I try and call this as well? I wouldn't be surprised if they get... Is Patrick Vieira a coach? Is he managing at the moment?
Yeah, he's
Is he at Nice?
York.
No, where is he?
No, New York City, isn't it?
Oh, okay. If he's not, then they'll have him there. But I wonder if they'll show the clip between... Because that would be the perfect one. You show the clip of Neville, Keane kicking off with Neville. He's not managing at the moment. So if he is available, watch out for this. Vieira on the punditry with Roy Keane. Gary Neville comes in. He's doing co-coms and they have a little chat. And then they show the clip about Keane having to go at Vieira because he's picked on Gary Neville. He got sacked. There you go. Called it at first.
Yeah.
Right, let's keep moving, bud. Mike Mayer, Sheffield United versus Man City. Is glue thicker than oil derby? We will find out this weekend. Here's a new bit. Could be a bit, might not be. Could be a short bit. Not sure. Let's see. Jaff and Dreams. Cristiano Ronaldo, the Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yep.
Has commented. He said, he said, "Hi, Jazz here." Oh. Just checking in. Thought I'd share how Jaffin has started to seep into my dreams. I had a dream that James, Rory and I had gone out shopping together. After getting back to our, I presume, shared flat together, Rory sits on the sofa by the side of the bed and James and I have get into bed together. Totally platonic, fully clothed, just to relax after a long day of walking around the shops together. James gets out his laptop and starts talking about something YouTube related, but he's sitting on the duvet. I say, James, could you get up for a sec so I could cover up? James replies, you really want me to get up so you can get under the sleep bean bag? Rory and I make eye contact and start laughing hysterically at James referring to a duvet as a sleep bean bag. That's it. That's the dream.
That's fantastic. I love that. I love that. I have mental dreams, but I can't think of any more. But yeah, more of them. And we'll read the best one. Not everyone's dreams, because that could...
Yeah. Please only real ones. I want this to be an authentic bit.
Sleep beanbag. That's fantastic.
Right, I feel like this bit could be coming to an end. Goals and facts. And I'll explain why. First of all, so for those of you who don't know, this is mental, and I can't believe I'm about to say it. But if you're new to the pod, sometimes we talk about seagulls. It happened about a month ago. It's continued ever since. And now people give us their seagull facts and stories. And here are a few. Jacob Buswell. I was feeding the ducks when I was about 13. My mum said, make sure you give some to the duckling. I did. Of course I did. I listened to my mum because I'm a good boy. As the bread hit the surface of the water, a massive, evil gull came down and stole the bread. Not only did it take the bread, but it took the duckling as well. I have a picture in my mind of a seagull flying off with a little leg sticking out either side of its mouth. I never forgave my mum. It's not a fact, is it? It's not a fact.
Just something that happened to you, mate.
Fact!
Do you think we're doing this for a laugh? Do you think that we ain't got... you're wasting our time. You're wasting our time.
And that's why... that is why in this football podcast, this seagull bit is dying. Okay?
Because of people like you, Jacob.
Scumbag. Let's see if John... I think John puts final nail in the coffin here. John Simonson. All right, lads, just check it in. Growing up in Newcastle, I've had various run-ins with seagulls. When I was about 13, me and my mates all used to knock about on this little patch of grass in the city centre, drinking cans of Stella that we'd stolen from our dads. 13. There was an abundance, actually to be fair, there was an abundance of seagulls around this area, but one gull in particular was bloody huge. We called him Spunky, for whatever reason, and he had been spotted on at least 2 occasions killing pigeons. However, after a while we stopped seeing Spunky, and it was heavily rumoured at the time that the council had had him killed as he was frightening the locals. In fact, this one lad, who ironically was nicknamed Pigeon because of his weird coloured hair and affinity for Greg's, I don't know why that makes you a pigeon, swore that he had seen a marksman from the council shoot Spunky out of the sky. Whether that's true or not, it's not for me to say.
It's not for me to say.
Just imagine that. Just like go for a walk. Just go for a walk, and then like it's like a marksman. Just like
this fucking seagull explodes.
That would have frightened a lot of people.
I'm happy to retire goals and facts now.
Yeah, I think maybe we move on to something different. Maybe slug facts. Fancy PGA Tour with a super chat. Just checking in. Thank you, mate. And he was just giving us some stats as well. That's all right, bro.
Yeah, stop sending.
Don't worry about it. Save your money, pal. Save your money.
Save your money.
It's all good. So yeah, Dan Neal, we should do some interesting slug facts. I'll start. One slug. This is mad. One slug can produce up to 90,000 babies in a lifetime.
Ugh.
Bit like Rob Turner. Good cashing it. It's good cashing it. Good cashing it.
The issue of Rob Turner. This could be his memoirs, isn't it? My issues.
With that in mind, Jim will have caught Ball Street and True Geordie in no time. Keep spreading the he's been nice. Keep spreading.
I'd like to know Rob Turner's cleanup method, just to see if it differs from mine.
Let us know, Rob, in the chat. What is it? What is this? What is this? What are we doing? Right.
I do sometimes finish this podcast and I just like I walk away.
Well, we got an answer. We got an answer. News just in. Rob Turner says tissue.
Just tissue.
Nearly 40-year-old Flav. Do you want to? What's yours?
Socks.
Right, petty act. Speaking of which, he's walked off. Is he walking off? Do you need a minute?
No. So my mate, I just had to check the kids are not in next door. My mate says that sometimes if he's knocking one out to a porn star who's died.
Oh my god! How does he know?
Finish. He wears a black sock. Out of respect.
That's what? I'm just trying to think. What's the link? What's the link into the next bit? For Christ's sake! Weird. That's pretty sick. You know.
It's respectful.
That's weird, mate. Why is he before he starts? Has he Googled to see if they're alive or not?
He just knows he's into it. Do you know what? Bit of respect. I'm going to come into a black sock right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible. JR96, literally, what have I just joined? Welcome. Smash that like button, guys. Subscribe for more. Petty Axe. Right, this is great. Andy Ball kicking us off. I think there's legs in this one, this new bit. Andy Ball, he said, "You are showing a lack of understanding of the game. It's such a beautiful way to finesse a football argument." So that's just an initial petty act to get us off. We've got quite a few though. The Swellhead Spur. Whenever I'm with my mates coming to a doorway, I run to the door and slam it behind me to be a dick. That's so true, isn't it? I used to do that at school. I've always done this. Flav's mate increasing the head size is incredible. Check out last week's podcast if you don't know what that means. It's really, really funny. James and Flav community page. This is incredible from Louis. The pettiest thing I've ever done, and I'm not proud of. A friend of a friend died, and I got invited to the funeral. He was a Swansea fan, and the family wanted everyone to wear Swansea shirts. As a Cardiff fan, I wore a Cardiff shirt with a Swansea shirt on top of it, so that I was still respectful, but I knew what was happening underneath. Thoughts on that, Flav?
I knew what was happening underneath. Yeah. No, I fully respect it. It's a difficult situation, isn't it?
It's a tricky one.
I wouldn't, like, if it's someone's wife, like of my mate, and he died and he was a big Arsenal fan, and she said, "Can you all wear Arsenal shirts?" I'd say no.
Yeah.
No. How dare you?
That's not what he would have wanted. Or would he? You know.
Did you even know him? Because
would he have wanted that though? Maybe that's.
I mean, I would. I wouldn't want an Arsenal fan touching a shirt. a Spurs shirt.
Yeah.
But that's like, I know, like, it's just football, innit? Can you do it because my husband's dead? No, can't.
Do you know, actually, if you write that into your will as part of your funeral, that's a really good petty act.
Yes.
Just to wind everyone up.
Yeah.
I think it's important that everyone wears a QPR shirt, please. Just to say, I would like that, just in case something happens.
I can do that. It's not I'd do it for you, and if you really wanted, but not Arsenal. So he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. It's not going to bring him back, is it? I'm not wearing a shirt. He doesn't even know. He literally doesn't know. He's dead. He's not going to see this. There's no life after death. He isn't going to see this. So I'm not going to do it. Love. Sorry.
Fair enough. Alexander Brunton, petty act. My sister was talking incredibly loud on a Zoom call to her friends today while I was in online class. I told her to shut up, but she persevered. Later on, she asked me if I had seen her phone. And with the podcast in my mind, I told her that I'd seen it upstairs on the landing, knowing full well it was downstairs in the sitting room. She went upstairs, couldn't find it, and came back down the stairs, only for me to tell her that I meant to say sitting room. Safe to say she wasn't happy, but the podcast made me do this. Harry McVeigh, just checking in. 2 of my mates had a falling out over something one of their girlfriends had done. My friend, who felt he was wrong, decided to make a Grindr account using my friend's Instapics. This resulted in my mate getting FaceTimes, messages, etc. from horny gay blokes until he finally apologised. Wow. That is proper petty. Conrad, how many have we got more? Oh, we've got a couple more. Conrad Ostrowski. A classic petty act when I was younger was when pouring out drinks for lunch or dinner, I would always make sure I gave myself just a little bit more than my sister. Not loads more, in case you noticed it, but just a tiny bit more. That way I always felt a strange sense of superiority. It was a power trip, really. Okay, and this will be the last one. Get your petty acts in the comments for next week. Tom Bradley. Just checking in, lads. Petty act that I still regret to this day from my time at uni. In my first year, I lived with a group of girls who would go out most nights. I had a completely separate group of mates, and we'd usually go out on different days, so I'd be sober or hungover to deal with the girls' night out aftermath during the day. After a week of them getting into the habit of banging on my door and shouting my name at 4 a.m, when they knew I hadn't gone out and was still asleep, I finally cracked. On my next night out with the boys, I came back to my flat at about 5 a.m. to see all of my plates and cutlery had been used by the girls during the day and they hadn't washed up. So without hesitation, I raided their cupboards and one by one dropped and smashed their glasses outside their doors, outside their bedroom doors. I woke up the following morning hanging and forgetting I'd even done it, and there was hell on. Not a single one of my flatmates spoke to me again for the last 2 months of the year, and every now and then I think to myself, did I take it too far? He edited this. He went, I've just read this back. I realised it makes me sound beyond petty.
Yeah, it's more than petty. This is
heavy.
Yeah.
For some more context, in the months leading up to my act of revenge, the girls had broken my headphones, eaten everything I had in the fridge while drunk, broken my door handle, and bundled on my bed the one night I forgot to lock my door. Wow. Hope this makes my revenge seem a bit more suiting of the crime. Let me know what you think.
Let me know what you think. So I know how annoying that is, and at university
can be a stink for that.
It will never. Everybody has to be faced with it at some times, and to be honest, probably all of us are guilty at some point. You're like, shit, I've run out of pasta. Our bloke's not back to the weekend. I'll eat his pasta and replace it. Obviously, as a student, you forget about that immediately, having eaten the pasta. Then you fuck someone off, something like that. The problem you've got here, mate, is you've broken glass just outside their door. And if they walk on that and cut their feet to shreds, you could be arrested. You might even go to prison. Fucking mental thing to do.
Would you go to prison? You wouldn't go to prison, would you?
If you smashed glass and didn't tell them and they walked over it, and what if they cut their tendons in the feet and they can't walk properly for the rest of their life? Maybe crazy thing to do. Crazy thing. I'm surprised they didn't ask you to leave, mate. That would freak me out. Imagine getting up and like, shit, there's glass outside. Someone must have dropped it. All the birds in the house, glass outside their door. It's freak out, Tom. It's crazy shit.
It's crazy. Can I just say this is superb and just a great example of the podcast. Fantasy PGA Tour, who's been giving us a few super chats along the way. Obviously, we spoke about Tinder there for a second. He's just written in the chat, the average age of a Tinder user is 26.2. The average life expectancy of a tortoise is 103. Think about that. Well, good save. Right. High quality rumours. We'll give you 3, but we have got loads because we've got to do something at 2:00. Okay. Jamie Daly. So yeah, high quality rumours. This is had to make a rumour up when I was 4 or 5. This is amazing. Jamie Daly. I had to make a rumour up when I was 4 or 5. He made it up. Okay. I shit myself at school when the teacher didn't let me go to the toilet. Then when I was finally allowed to go, I tried to clean up the best I could. My mate walked in and pushed the toilet door open and saw my shitty pants between my legs as I sat there.
Oh, wow.
He was suspicious, but I managed to convince him that there was a brown bit in everyone's pants. I knew he's 5, isn't he? I knew this wouldn't work for long, so when I'd wiped up best I could, I went back to the class and told everyone that this mate that had caught him had shat himself. Yeah. I got in there first. Got in there first, so his story of me shitting myself seemed reactionary and gave credence to my story. It worked a treat. The poor lad was known as Poo Pants for the next few months.
Amazing, wow. Jamie. He's like, what are we going to do?
What are we gonna do? 5-year-old kid. Pretty sweet stuff.
I'm not sure he's bought this. I don't think he's bought that. Right, I've got to go on the attack.
You went on the attack, you did.
I've just seen my mate, he's just shit himself.
Fantastic. That's amazing. Chris Parker, a rumour went around school. I like this, 1-sentence rumours. A rumour went around school about me that I snorted sherbet off a girl's leg. Literally no idea where it came from.
It's not a bad one.
It's not too bad. Jay Tevo, this is from a couple of weeks back. Back at high school, every now and again, we would have to do some cross-country running for our PE sessions. The run was split into 3 segments, with one being on a field, another on a long straight path, and the final being a winding course that had bushes and trees covering the area, so you couldn't see too far in front or behind you. One afternoon, we were told to do the run, and a group of our friends stuck together to pass the time and keep pace. One of our mates, who was clearly the fittest of all of us, decided that we were too slow and wanted to finish it way before us as some kind of ego trip. What occurred was him disappearing into the distance as the trees covered the curving path. About 10 minutes later, we rolled up on him face first in the grass with his arse in the air. Clearly, he fell over and was in a lot of pain. But because of the fact he tried to rub it in our face that he was faster than us minutes earlier, one of us said, God, didn't know you were a grass sniffer. In which we all continued to pile on, creating the story that he'd run ahead to get a good old whiff of the sweet green.
Fantastic.
From that point on, he was known as the grass sniffer and never again ran with us, because we'd point out when and where might be the best time to run along to breathe in the natural world. We've got loads and loads of brilliant ones, which we will get to. But we might need to save them for next week. Final thing. So normally we do a story of the badge. We don't have one now. Last week we did Gone Back United. One thing I will do is take a look at this, because Wills Eves has said Weird Club Badge SC show FC show in Norway. Take a look. Let's take a look. So this could be next week's one. Make sure you get them in the comments. Is this actually a thing or not? Is this it?
It's like
It
reminds me of that. What's it called?
Sidis Sports Club.
Can you blow it up?
Yeah.
It's like Dulwich Hamlets.
Right. So you've got a plate here. We've got a Dicky Bow. We've got some kind of hipster. Feels like a hipster.
Yeah,
waiter,
and
maybe pop up.
Is this some sort of is it like an anti-fascist thing? Is it like a pro?
I quite like the font. Interesting.
So the thing is I'm in a difficult situation here, Jim, because I want to say, like, is this a gay football club? But can I? Because it's just pink and he's looking a little bit fancy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a difficult situation. I don't want to be offensive, but why have they chosen pink and quite a showy font?
Yeah.
Well,
if it is, it's dated, and both me and you on the record and on the pod say maybe this needs an upgrade.
Yeah, because I feel confused and a little bit guarded about how I was going to.
I think he's just a waiter. Right. Well, okay. Let's know what's the story of the badge. We haven't got time to Google it right now. Hang on, let me just get rid of that. I haven't got time to Google it right now. But yeah, let us know. So what? But what we do have is our own badge now. Actually, let me show you it here. Here it is. Absolutely fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. There it is. Bang.
What's 2014?
Seb, thank you, Seb. I don't know.
Maybe when we met, but
yeah, it would. It would have been when we met. So it's Jaffin FC. I can't remember what the Latin slogan was. We'll give it a go. I think it was. Now I think this is wonderful, Seb. So thank you for this. Really appreciate it. You got your goals. You got sharks. It's all there. But a few people said that our Latin thing could be something different. So what we're going to do is finish on this. Which one should we go for? Have a think, guys. So first of all, Lewis Williams just thought of a neat Latin motto that the pod could use. Now, I fell for this. And I'll tell you what, I will show you it. So I did this. This is exactly what I did, right? Latin translator to English. Look, you can see I've done it before. Let me just, what was it again? It was, hang on. It was Ferrum Asinus. No, that's not it. That's not the one I took. Hang on. Maybe it's a camera.
Got it wrong.
Oh, have I? Hang on. What did I do? Is it 2 R's? Hang on.
I can't know.
Hang on. Did I spell it wrong?
Ferrum.
Ferrum.
Asinus. Donkey punch. Wow.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
I'm not a big fan of donkey punch.
Yeah, not into that.
No. It's
so we do have some options. So Sam and that, just to reiterate, this guy's he's decided to call himself Sam and that. So yeah. I'd be happy to take over as Latin representative for Jaffin as a Latin scholar myself. He's a Latin scholar and he's called himself Sam and that.
Why would he watch this if he's a Latin scholar?
Yeah. And I've actually won in Latin at my school's award ceremony, taking home a £10 book voucher for the trophy shelf. The slogan should definitely be Limacabus. Hang on. Limacabus a Limacabus, which means for the slugs, by the slugs, which is an option, but there are a few others.
Also, we're not slug.
Yeah, that's true. 1N, 1 go, just checking in. Motto has to be, we'll play and we'll win, which in Latin I think is O Ludimiros et Vincemiros inigo. So that's an option as well. We'll play and we'll win. I'll just give you all the options. Aquafirma says, Est perfectum solunt mediocres ludi. There is perfection in mediocrity. That's an option.
That's
and
nice.
Tom Proudlock, Leviter pedem pila maxim ineptius translates to slightly football, mainly nonsense.
Fantastic.
So there are your options. I don't know how we want to do it. Do you want to let people let us know which one they want to go for, or do you want to pick one now, Flav?
I want to hear some more.
Okay, look. All right. We'll keep this moving forward then. We'll see if we can get a few more.
We'll decide next week. I love that, though. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Would you say those are our colours?
I never thought about our colour's probably more turquoise, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the colour of the lamps and in the intro.
I don't know. Well, let's know.
So, I like this game. Quickly, Ainsley Maitland. Click on that. You've got to guess what's happened to him. I think robbed. I think he was robbed in the street. What do you think?
Transfer.
They got to be more specific than that.
Southampton enter the race to sign Ainsley Maitland-Niles on loan. Sorry, it's a boring answer from me there. He'd be great. That'd be good for him at Southampton. Right, guys. That was Jaffin live on the main YouTube channel.
It's never going to happen again.
Probably won't happen again. If you do want to be with us live as it happens and interact with us, become a patron. Link is in the description. I'm going to be streaming later, the playoffs as well, so join me on Twitch at 4 p.m. Flav, is there anything you want to plug?
No. Oh, do you know what? Listen to the 15 Minutes podcast. That's my other podcast. You've got 15 minutes of your time. Go and listen to that. It's good.
It is good. It's very
15
good.
minutes with Flav. And if you like James, he does 2 podcasts. One about sleep, which about 15 minutes we discuss sleep, and it's so funny.
It was funny. Right, guys, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Get in the comments now when this video ends. We need you. Otherwise, this podcast dies. We'll see you very, very soon. Thanks again. Bye.
Cheers.